Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am your host, Daylon Thomas for HeSpoke Fashion Live, and we have a great show in store for you, and we want to get right down to it. I know that you've been watching already the NFL draft, and we have something to talk about concerning fashion. So let's get right to it. Come on now, let's kick it. In the building. This platform discusses any and all information that has been published to the public sphere. We will engage our viewers through the use of this public information. All videos, songs, and graphics used in the video belong to their respective owners. I claim ownership of all produced video content on this channel and video. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
He spoke fashion. I'm telling he spoke fashion. I'm so glad he spoke fashion. I'm telling he spoke.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us again on tonight. Again, I'm your host, Daylon Thomas for HeSpoke Fashion Live, and we have a great show in store for you on tonight. So go ahead and hit like and share. Go ahead and tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that we're here live once again. Look, I'm so happy to be back. I was away last week. I was away on business. I was down in the lovely state of Florida in Miami. Yes, I was on business. I was working. I know you can see the tan lines, but I was working the entire time. Yes, I was. Wink, wink. No, I'm kidding. But no, I wasn't able to come live, but I am so glad because you know what? I missed you guys last week. Did you miss me? Well, I missed you. I really did. I'm so glad that you took the time tonight to engage with us. Again, we have a great show in store, a great discussion on tonight. Of course, we always talk about women's fashion from a man's perspective. And tonight we're going to switch it up. We're going to pivot just a little bit because you know what? We are in the NFL draft and we have to talk about it. We have to talk about not only the draft picks, but of course, the fashion that they were wearing. And you know what I found out? And I found that this was very interesting because I found out that 78% of the homes in the African-American community are raised by a single mother, 78%. And listen, we could sit here and we could debate the reasons why or things of that nature, but rather than that, I would really rather deal with what the problem is, or even not necessarily the problem, but what we can do to help that 78%. Listen, I know many of us have our sons and our daughters in sports, and we're pushing them to be the best that they can be in whatever sport they choose or desire to be a part of. But nevertheless, we have to teach them some of the particulars, some of the things that will help put them over the top. And fashion is one of those things. Don't you agree with me? Don't you agree that fashion is one of those things that help you, to give you an advantage? We've been talking about that since day one, how people will judge you or misjudge you just by the way you dress. And so we want to get down to that discussion tonight. Remember, that 78%, I want to help you tonight. I found that is my passion, just to be able to help you, not only in your fashion journey, but if you can help someone else along the way, I think we've done, I guess what our purpose is in life, to help someone else. And so I want to get right down to it, but I can't do it unless I bring on my guest for tonight. I'm telling you, I am excited about this guest that we have. Of course, we've had him on before. Before we've talked about shoes, but I found that this man is not only a man of fashion when it comes to talking about women's shoes, but he knows suits, he knows clothing, he knows all of that. And I am so glad to bring him on, none other than my friend, my brother, Jonathan Campbell.
Hey man, how's it going tonight?
I am so glad that you're with us, my good friend. Listen, I want to get right down to it because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, this 2021 draft. I don't know, for some reason last year, I think I missed the draft. I don't know if it was just so much going on with the pandemic. I don't know who got drafted number one, number two. I'm telling you, I was totally blown off last year. And I'm glad to finally get my bearings. And I know people think it's strange that we're talking about fashion and here we're talking about football. But again, I must admit that I was happy to see, pleased to see how these young men dressed on last night. What about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was thinking to myself, I said, man, these young men have really come a long way. Down through the years, we've let's be honest, we've seen some disasters. We've seen some stuff where we're like, whoa. I think there was probably maybe like one or two things that I saw actually an entire first round that was kind of, a little head scratching, like, wow.
Yeah,
but, but other than that, it looked really good. Those young men, especially the black men,
yes,
we're black, right? So we had to celebrate our own.
Right.
They did an awesome job. And I think that, I would be remiss if I would, think that a lot of those guys did those things on their own. I believe that they had stylists and probably, black stylists, which has given opportunities for African American men and women who are stylists and tailors. Great forum for that. Something I always wanted to get into, but obviously got into a career and went a different way. That's just a different type of hustle. But it really was a nice event. And for those, even the ones that were there present, it was refreshing to see so many well-dressed black men.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. We have to applaud our own. And I'm telling you, I was really impressed. As you said, it's funny. I know we're going to get to this NFL discussion, but, I have to start off by saying, the NBA, since they've been playing in this, where they've been closed in, they've gone to this more dressed down. I remember back in the day with Jordan. Jordan was always suited and booted, and you could always look up to him and all of his colleagues. When they came in, you knew you were going to see a wonderful outfit, a wonderful suit. And now you don't know what you're going to get. And I think sometimes with wearing a suit, it doesn't expose the fact that you may not be able to dress. What exposes that you can't dress many times is when you're left to your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I am ready to get down to it because, again, I think these guys did a great job. And, I was reading an article, and I want to hear what you have to say about this before we even get into that, because I was reading an article, and it was talking about how men's suits were starting, the level of how men were dressing in suits, how it's starting to diminish, that men aren't buying, even Americans, not black men, not white men, but American men are not buying as many suits. And it talked about how even I think in 2016, how Goldman Sachs determined that they were no longer going to wear suits to work. And I saw that. And what do you think about that? What do you think about, even I know in certain other areas where we're seeing the transitioning from that. What have you to say about that?
Corporate America has shifted. A couple of weeks ago, you did a show on how church itself has shifted. from dressing up, especially particularly the Black church. But corporate America has changed. I think the CEOs and the younger, men or women that are part of this, new generation don't feel it is necessary to dress professional as it pertains to corporate America, with the exception of a bank, things like that, banking. But, if you work for pharmaceuticals, they wear polos and khakis. Everyone really looks the same. But yesterday, I'll be honest, yesterday I had a meeting and I'm in healthcare, and was in this meeting regarding contract with a hospital. And one of the gentlemen that walked in the room, big guy. And I wanted to make this point just because, he was a big guy. He was a big guy. He's about 6'2", probably about 300 pounds. Big guy, right?
Big guy.
But tailor-made suit.
Yes.
3-piece waistcoat, Louis Vuittons, all right? To work.
Wow.
And, and here I am. I had my, my little button down on blazer. I'm thinking I'm doing all right.
Right.
I'm like, 3-piece suit, tie, from head to toe, clean. He was a Hispanic brother. And I was just like, wow, I can't remember the last time, corporate setting, whether it's a meeting, I can't remember the last time I saw a guy that well dressed.
Wow.
And, your main focus as you started on this broadcast tonight talked about, your women focus and how to, enhance the women and inside and out, and the beauty that they possess through dressing. But also, why have a woman put together and a man with looking crazy?
Right.
I'm just trying to be PG with it.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
I mean, why we putting all that focus on what the woman looks like as far as appearance, and yet the man is not up to par.
Right.
Woman looking just wonderful from head to toe, going on a night on the town, and the guy shows up in sweatpants. Oh, I'm comfortable. No, brother.
Right.
No. There has to be some flexibility. There's a time and a place for everything.
Right.
Sweats, time and place for jeans, time and place for, some khakis, is time and a place for dress pants, suit, so we have to show flexibility. And, I really believe that even in corporate America, depending on what title you have, I'm a personal believer, especially when you're a person of color, you should stand out. I'm sorry, I've been taught that.
Yes.
And, you yourself are an example of that. We shouldn't, if that's the dress code, okay, that's fine. That doesn't mean I have to follow the dress code.
Right.
If you
on last night was none other than we knew he was going
Sunshine.
Yes.
I call him Sunshine.
Trevor Lawrence was the number one. Yes, I mean, this guy is such a happy looking fellow. I want nothing but the best for the guy. He is definitely. I mean,
Sunshine.
He looks like he'll say, "Hey, dude," one of the beach guys, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, he's like Sean Penn back in the day,
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I mean, no, I'm saying he has a pretty clean cut persona. If you look at what he's done in from high school, because high school he was really highly touted, those who follow him, and he just went to college and lived up to the hype. So hey, that's how you do it.
You know what? I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan. I watched his career at Clemson, and I'm telling you, I'm excited about the possibility for Jacksonville. Jacksonville has enjoyed some losing seasons, and I'm sure all of the
A
fans,
lot of them.
of the Jacksonville Jaguars are just excited about this young man, and I'm excited for him. Like you said, he's clean cut. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job, and so I just wanted to start off with the number one pick. I mean, nothing really too fashionable, but you know, he was at home. He was at home, and he just put a blazer on, and I even liked that. I respected the fact that he put a blazer on at home, and it's just like you said. The dress code might be khakis and a polo, but if you can create your own image, why not? Why not? And I think he did a great job in doing that.
No, I like the look. You know, I like the knit tee. Love the cotton suit. You know, it's spring, summer now, so you know you can't wear cotton in the middle of the winter.
Right.
All right. Because oftentimes those suits are not lined.
Right.
If you look here, beautiful green. I like that. That is really nice. This is something simple, and I believe he has sneakers on. They look like Alexander McQueen's. I couldn't tell just because the camera just kept flashing, but they did look like Alexander McQueen's. The pant, that was a nice pant height for those sneakers.
Yes. Those Alexander McQueen sneakers are, I'm telling you, I think I saw, I want to say, the young man I talked about, the choir director guy.
Choir director.
AB, help me out.
Ricky Dillard?
No.
James Hall?
From New York. The guy from New York.
James Hall.
No. The younger guy. With SOV.
Vincent Bohannon.
Who?
Vincent Bohannon.
Yes, Vincent Bohannon. Yeah. I think I saw him with a pair of those on, and I said, you know, I might have to find my way.
Yeah, I hit. They're very comfortable. I haven't tried them on yet. You know, I'm a little old school, so sometimes I'm a little, you know, classic to say the least. But from what I understand, they're very comfortable.
Yes.
You know, so when I was in the store, I believe it was like Neiman Marcus or something like that. I ended up going a different direction with shoes. But from what I understand, they're really comfortable.
Yes, they are comfortable looking. And sometimes that doesn't equate to being comfortable. But in this case, I think you're right. But yes, that was a very, I'm telling you, Jonathan, you are very impressive when it comes to clothing. Listen, if you're out there in the audience and you know of a professional athlete that, you know, a male professional athlete that you know may be challenged in the styling area, in that arena, Jonathan Campbell is your man. Come on, hit us in the chat. Wherever you want to hit us at, inbox us. We can get you his contact information because he will keep your son, your boyfriend, your boo, looking sharp. You won't be embarrassed when he's on TV doing an interview and you say, "What does he have on?" He's going to help out. But let's go right ahead. Number 2 was none other than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was number 2. He was taken by the Jets, so he's going to be right here in the New York area playing in your.
Yeah. Now he's going to go through a transformation period. All right. Now this young man is from Utah. Okay. So right now his look is very Utah-ish. Right. He's going to the big city. He's probably going to be living in New Jersey. You know, those who don't know, the Jets facility is at Florham Park. Yes. So they're going to take him right over to Short Hills Mall, right? He's going to go right there, get a personal stylist, and you'll see someone totally different after a loss. when the quarterback has to have the words,
a few
you're going to see the transformation. So, but this is a classic look, and for our Caucasian brothers, you know, they aren't as edgy. If you look at contrast to Trevor Lawrence, the reason why I said, you know, Trevor Lawrence created his own image, but yet he was still fashionable at the same time at home. So this young man was actually there in Cleveland at the actual draft, but very classic. This is kind of like President Biden ish,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. But you know what? That's what he's been exposed to.
Right.
Um,
Very good.
so I'm pretty sure it's going to change. I'm almost 100% confident that when he gets to New Jersey, all right, whether it's this week, next week, he's going to go right to Short Hills Mall,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to do a total transformation.
Yeah.
And you'll see it over the next football season, to where, because it happened with what's his name, Mark Sanchez. You know, he was from LA. You know, very laid back. Those guys wear shorts and surfboard t-shirts and whatnot, flip flops. You know, next thing you know, Mark Sanchez was on GQ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cover GQ. I remember. Yeah.
He was on GQ and modeling and all that kind of stuff. So New York will get it. When you're the next big star, you know,
Mm-hmm.
New York will get you to the place to where they're going to use you. And he's a good-looking young man too. So
Yeah.
he's definitely going to be modeling.
Yes, and I think the New York market is very well receptive to his image. But you know what was amazing? Zach Wilson was number 2. I'm gonna tell you who got a little bit more publicity than he did, and that was no one other than his mom. His mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says the surprising breakout star of last night's NFL draft was the mom of BYU quarterback Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't make this up. That you know, someone was eyeing his mom. It's apparent he came from a good stock. Mom is beautiful, and so he's a nice looking young man. And I'm telling you, he's going to do quite well. But I like to show this other photo here. what they said.
Because at first I thought it was his girlfriend at first.
Yeah.
You know, when she was crying and hugging on, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was like our age or anything like that. I thought she was like, you know, maybe like late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, okay, you know. Then I looked and saw a couple of the wrinkles. I'm like, okay, no, that is his mom. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. This meme says Zach Wilson's mom is the real MVP of this draft so far. They got Smokey and Day Day. Is that Day Day Wilson?
Yeah.
No, Craig and Smokey.
I got a picture of too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's fun. We're making light of it, but sometimes, I mean, it does come from, you know, someone in your family that's just passing along those good genes and those, you know, fashion traits. Sometimes you can look in your history of your family, and you can find your family tree. You say, well, I probably take after more of this person because they kind of had style, you know. You see in your children, you can see, oh, they kind of take like their grandmother because they're more stylish, or their grandfather because they're more stylish. And so I think he's going to do well. Of course, definitely. It is the Jets, so
it's the Jets. That's what I said. So you're gonna see it after a loss. You'll see him in the tailor-made suits, and you'll see, you know, all of a good example is Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see what Tom Brady has on after a game.
Yes. See, can we just agree on that? See, Tom Brady may not be your favorite player, but you gotta love the guy's life.
That guy, I mean, he living it. Married to a supermodel.
Yeah.
I mean, he has 7 Super Bowl championships.
Winning.
I mean, come on, winning
at
everywhere.
the end of the day, winning. Period. That's all I can say. The guy is winning in life, and I don't have a problem in applauding that. But as you say, you know, I thought you were going to go with another Jets legend, Joe Namath.
Oh, Joe Willie. Joe Willie. I mean, mink coats.
Yeah.
You know, the pantyhose commercials. You know that?
But you know what? It actually, you know, when they find like someone that can naturally kind of dress up, naturally has the style and stuff like that, it leads to these types of endorsements. And I'm telling you, you're missing the opportunity when you don't key in on the fashion, because you could become a brand ambassador. You could clothing lines all the time are looking for people who will model their clothes or be a brand ambassador. And sometimes you're just missing out on certain things when you don't take advantage of opportunities. Like you said, a time and a place. And fashion always makes the difference. Let's go on. Who do we have up next? I'm telling you. Woo woo. Yes. Trey Lance, number 3.
Yes. This
Trey,
is where I wanted to go.
Yes.
I love to see young Black brothers become instant millionaires.
Yes. Instant.
Just at an instant. Snap of the finger.
Yes.
Your name is called and your life changes forever.
Life changes.
Wow.
And to enter in, start like you finish, start like you want to finish. And to enter in, starting off, and you're saying, although I could dress like anyone else, I'm going to come, I'm going to put on a suit, I'm going to make this a momentous occasion. And you know what? Sometimes it's just about who's looking at you, who's standing behind in years to come. And they're looking at your example. And I don't know what's going to happen with these guys once they get, full engulfed in their careers. But I'm glad that they started off. Dressed to impress, wearing the suits. And I'm telling you, I listen.
Now, what color are those socks?
I don't know. I just saw that.
I missed that
He
last
went
night.
way high. He went really high.
I'm going to address that too.
Yeah, please. But I like the fact that he had the tux on. And I know these young men, they're wearing things differently now with the styles. But I was impressed. Show the next one. Come on, AB, show the next one, because it's a little bit closer up here. And it's just a little closer up on this next photo of Trey. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I like the detail in the lapels. I like the way he had the puff on, and like I said, he's wearing it. His cuffs are proper.
This is tailor made.
Yeah,
this is tailor made.
Yes.
You now y'all still have the picture of the number 2 pick, Zach Wilson. Now I don't got no problem buying off the rack. I buy off the rack, right? I buy off the rack.
Right.
Okay. There's a trick to that too. You can buy off the rack, and then you can custom fit it to you. But you saw the difference with Zach Wilson's suit and Trey Lance. Look at the form fitting, because these are athletic guys here. Okay, these are guys who spend their life in the weight room, and so they just, in most cases, you just can't put on anything. You have to get things tailor made.
Yes.
But if you look at the form fit on the suit for Trey Lance versus Zach Wilson, you'll see that, hey, if you can do a little extra work, now if you can afford it, if you have custom suits, you can get custom suits for as low as I've seen. There's a young brother, Jacob Clayton, out of Dallas, Texas. He's a partner with a good friend of mine, Alex Ellis. He starts at around $600. And the truth be known, you can't even find a Xenia suit or Hugo Boss suit for $600.
Right.
You can get a custom-made suit for about $600. And for those brothers that have those frames, I wish I had, big muscles and stuff like that. But if you do have that frame, or the gentleman that I saw in the meeting that I was in yesterday at work, he's a big guy. He's not going into K&G to get a suit off the rack. It's just not going to happen. And if he does, the sleeves are going to be too long, or, the jack. That's the risk you run.
This is true. This is true.
But back to those, the pant length to me is crucial. So that's a big pet peeve of mine. Just because now with Trevor Lawrence, his pant length was perfect because he had sneakers on. That is a more casual look. But when you're in a formal look, even for formal or just like regular suit, it should be close to the ankles. Shouldn't be lower than that, but close to the ankles.
Mhm.
So in most cases, if you did want to go a little bit more non-traditional, you can go a little bit higher. But 3 inches higher than the ankle bone, that's no.
Right.
No, because you're taking away from the formal look. You're not going to go to the Oscars, all right? With the Oscars, all they wear is tuxedos.
Right.
I guarantee you will not see pants 3 inches higher than the ankle bone. This doesn't make a difference. There's some things that you just can't mix. But if you're talking about a cotton suit that you want to wear, shoes with no socks or sneakers with no socks, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes, I
but
agree.
You got to watch that because and for those, prom season is coming up, and for those who are getting ready to dress their sons, and I talk to mom and say, listen, you can't get too high. All right, it's got to be a balance here.
Right.
So you got to watch that. No 3 inches above the ankle bone. Maybe 1.5. Yeah. But once you get 3 inches, it doesn't even look well. It doesn't look nice. It really doesn't.
Listen. I don't know if you guys are hearing this. You gotta put some thumbs up in the comment section because Jonathan just dropped some knowledge that's gonna help a lot of you moms out there. Just again, getting ready to send your sons to the prom. You're gonna help him. You're gonna help him by telling him no 3 inch above the ankle. 1.5 will do, and it still looks classy. It still achieves the goal that you want in terms of showing a bit of the ankle, but don't go too far to the extreme. I'm telling you, he's dropping some knowledge that I think maybe Trey would have loved to have had because he may be the butt of many jokes for years to come, because you got to look back at some time and say, what was I thinking? Listen, I want to go to a quick commercial. And we're going to take that quick commercial and come right back in. Come on, listen, go ahead and like and share if you haven't done so yet. Go ahead and do that. Don't tune out, tune in, and stay with us, and we'll be right back after this. Thank you for staying with us. And make sure, listen, if you're part of our YouTube audience, if you're watching, just go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time that we go live. But we are discussing tonight the NFL draft and the fashion from the NFL draft. And we're down to Trey Lance. I think he did a great job, maybe too far on, that we're finding out tonight. Too far up on the hem in those pants. Too much ankle and calf. He went too far. But next up, let's bring our guest back on. Yes, Jonathan, we're back. Let's go with number 4. Number 4 was none other than Kyle Pitts. Now, Jonathan, I have to say, first of all, people were debating whether or not they made the right choice in picking him at number 4. Let's talk sports for a minute. This guy is a beast. What do you think about this draft pick?
I wish he fell to the Giants. I'm a New York Giants fan. I wish. Well, we knew good and doggone well that he wasn't going to go to pick 11 where we were at.
Right.
This guy has been a playmaker at the University of Florida since he's been there. 6'6".
Yes.
Say no more.
And I think they said he ran a 4.4 40.
4.3 or 4.4.
Yeah.
High 4.3s or high 4.4s and 6'6".
Nothing but upside on that.
Cornerback. Yeah, look, your average cornerback is 5'10". You do the math.
Right.
Average safety about 5'11", 6 foot.
And they're
6 inches all day.
backtracking for a guy running a 4.4
Yeah, that's
40 coming forward, and they
is crazy.
backtracking half the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he was he was
Yeah.
definitely for me a good pick. But we're going to talk about the fashion choice that he made. What do you think of this? I mean,
Now, I love the green.
yes. The green speaks. I noticed these the stripes down the pants leg, the yellow. I mean, it's different. I don't know if I feel it that much, but
No.
I like when they wear the stripe. I don't know if the mustard green, mustard yellow.
Because see, you know where he lost it though. You have a velvet bow tie, which is very formal. I love that look. I love that look. That's a late 70s, early 80s look.
Yes.
You know, I love the vest. You know, the waistcoat. Love the green. That green is. But if you're gonna do that, he probably would. I think he either could have went without the stripes and the elbow patches. I think that, you know, if he did like black to accentuate it, because you don't want to. The thing about being formal, you don't have to have loud colors.
Right.
I
think that's what threw me off on it. Yeah.
You know, because formal's formal. It's either gonna do black or you do white. Now, the green is beautiful. That is a wonderful green, but with the look, with the bow tie, that the popping of, I kind of see where the stylist was going. The popping, they were probably trying to look for a popping and do something different with the look. Sometimes you do too much. You know, you do too much.
Yeah.
You know, I think that if anything, lose the elbow patch, both of them, and maybe do a black stripe along the sides.
Yes.
You know, keep it simple, or just do nothing.
Yeah.
Do nothing.
I think these some of the designers may be trying to give it a tracksuit type, type look with the stripes on the side. I'm not feeling that in any shape or form for this tuxedo. I mean, I think, like you said, if you would have kept it simple, either black or no stripe at all would have done perfect. But I do agree. I mean, listen, ladies, I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. 6'6", wearing a custom fit, tailor-made tuxedo. Come on now. I'm telling you, when the brother steps in the room, everyone's looking at him. Let's be honest. At 6'6", he's getting some looks because of that suit. These tall guys look different when they just have on regular clothes. You know, they have on some jeans, you're kind of looking like legs, like, nah. But the suits, when they're wearing the suits, I'm telling you, it's very impressive. Kyle Pitts, very impressive. I really like that. Let's go on to the next one. Jamar Chase, number 5. Right. Number 5. Now, Jamar, I thought he was a good pick, first of all. Now, absolutely. I was wondering with Devontae, I mean, what was going on. Let's talk about that for just one moment. What say you about this pick versus Devontae? What say you about that?
Well, it was an easy pick because, number one, Jamar Chase, in my opinion, is probably one of the more explosive receivers. Devontae Smith, obviously Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
But I think I weigh more than him, and that's that's not saying much. All right. I think he's about 175, but he's a tremendous athlete. Jamar Chase, athletically is, superior in my opinion to Devontae Smith. He did not play this year because he opted out. But the year before that, when LSU won a national championship, he could have went out that year and been a top 5 pick.
Right.
No one knew that we're going to have this pandemic. I think obviously if he knew that, he probably would have said, I could have got paid for a year,
Right.
So he decided to opt out and, just work on his draft stock. But if you look at his film from when he was there, he was unstoppable.
Right.
Alabama couldn't stop the kid. So, I like the pick. And then who's the quarterback of the Bengals? Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That's that connection.
Yeah.
They were
that chemistry is going to be
connection.
there.
Yeah, chemistry's there. So, it was just kind of no-brainer. I think most experts were thinking that they needed to protect Joe Burrow, because last time we saw him, his knee didn't look too good.
Right.
And so you might want to, get a solid left tackle that can protect the kid. But in any event, they chose to go this route, and I still think it was a good pick. It was a good pick of value.
Right. So let's look at this suit that he's wearing, because he did something very special. When you look at this suit, basic white suit, but you know that it's custom. You can tell by the next. You slide that over the next photo here, where he's showing the interior of this custom jacket. And there's a little story behind that. I don't know if you heard it or not, but these are all of his friends and family members and people who had an impact on his career, on his life up until now. So he wanted to pay homage to them and respect to them for what they've done to get him to the point that he is. I thought that was, I thought it was nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like this suit. You remember we were talking about one or the other. It's either formal or you're going to do the casual. So you got the Trevor Lawrence cotton suit, nice look, knit t-shirt. Jamar Chase, this outfit, very similar. Custom fit, double-breasted white suit. Yeah. Wonderful. Perfect season for introducing, the season. I think the pant leg was really good. And again, you can do the higher, that's what some of the young men like. That you want to do the higher pant length for the custom suits or the suits that you're going to wear sneakers. Don't wear shoes don't wear Oxfords showing 3 inches of it. This does not make a sense.
Right.
It just does not make any sense. So, you have to, it's either one or the other. And this was a good balance. I like this. And one thing also too about custom made, you can, just like he did, he put all those people inside. You can do that with anything that you want. Put your name in it.
Yes.
Some some poems. I've seen poems. I've seen slogans. I've seen Bible verses that people hold dear to their hearts. You could do things. Men, we can explore. It's not, we always talk about, okay, women always doing things out the box. Why can't men do it? You can do things like that. Like I said, nothing wrong with buying off the rack. Nothing wrong. All right. Nothing wrong at all. But if you can get maybe 1 or 2 custom and just have in the closet that that you won't go to a church service, or you won't go to work, or you won't go to the Chart House or Ruth Chris or anything like that and see somebody else in your suit.
Yeah.
That is your suit, unless you just decided to just get a pinstripe custom. But if you got a nice color that you love, that was different, that, people would not normally see in the store setting, do it. Live outside the box, Absolutely. And you can do it in an inexpensive way.
I'm telling you, that's a very, that's very, very good what you said, because even down to being able to put a Bible verse or scripture or whatever you want to customize your wardrobe. I mean, when you said that, I automatically thought, You mean you don't just have to put it on your body, you could actually put it on your clothes. Because this generation is everything got to go on my body. This birthday, this grandma's birthday, all of these things I got to, somehow I'm going to forget it. So I got to put it on my arm,
Yeah.
But you can actually customize these things. And I'm telling you, that's think outside of the box, man. This is what we're helping you with on tonight. And we're helping that young mother as well to do the same, to help her son or her sons to think outside of the box when it comes to fashion. You're able to be creative. You don't have to be afraid to color outside of the line. You can do it in terms of fashion. Let's go on to our next pick, who was pick number 6 was Jalen Waddle.
Great athlete.
This one, I don't know, John. You're gonna have to help me with this one because
that was strange.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
That one was strange.
If it was like one side, it was like, yeah, but then he turned to the other side and it was
I was looking at Two-Face from Batman.
Right. And maybe that's what he was going for. He was going for, I'm a split personality, maybe, I don't know, but
I don't know.
Yeah, this was strange.
I've never seen that. I've never seen 2 different color lapels, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not on a men's suit. Maybe on a woman's suit. Maybe some of the female viewers, Mia, I think maybe she can say, I've seen that on a female suit.
Yeah.
But on a male suit, no. So brothers, me personally, I wouldn't recommend that.
Right.
Now the plaid is a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Just stick with the plaid all around.
Yeah, I mean, I thought again, when I saw one side, I was like, okay. And then he turned and I saw the other lapel and then the pocket. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't get it.
What we're doing here.
And
what is that white strip? What is that? What in God's name? What is that? Put it like this. When somebody has to really look, take the glasses off and squint and see something.
Right.
You shouldn't have it on.
Right. I mean, that's not a good thing.
Have it on.
That's not a good thing when they're doing all of that.
Yeah, because the spread collar shirt, I like that. Mm-hmm. I just don't know what that white thing is. I don't know what.
I think that's a nameplate, right, for his necklace. That's his nameplate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's his nameplate. Yeah, that's. Whew, he's from the backwoods. I gotta look him up.
Yeah,
I gotta look him up. I know he played at Alabama, and he most likely came up in the backwoods somewhere. And that's kind of what happens.
That's not
so hopefully, where's he going?
I think he was going to.
Who had the 6 pick?
6 pick was.
I'm hoping it's a big city.
I want to say it was the Dolphins. He went to Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's hooking back up with Tua.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll be in a good spot.
Yeah.
Miami has some good places. You can test it. They have some good places.
Yeah.
Good places that will set you up really nice.
Yes. He can go out to the Aventura Mall. They will set him up. Yes. Plenty of luxury brands there. Yeah. And boutiques at, Coral Gables. He can go to that area. Yeah, he's gonna do exceptionally well. They're gonna bring him. He could go ahead and put that one in the back of the closet. Never to be seen again.
Yes. There's hope for young Jalen.
Yes. Let's go on to the next one. I think we just had, because I just wanted, for the home team here, number 8 was this young man, J.C. Horn. He didn't come to the draft, but he was for the home team, the Carolina Panthers. Cornerback, I think we traded. Yes, we traded. We got Sam Darnold, but
that's another story.
Yeah, you know,
that Jets connection. That's what.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
you go into a rabbit hole.
they got rid of what's the quarterback that we just brought in from New Orleans, Teddy Bridgewater.
So
Yeah,
he's in Denver.
yeah, they got rid of him, and now they have Sam Darnold. And I'm not
So
sold on the guy.
It's a reclamation project. You know, Sam Darnold, all things considered, was a number 3 overall pick. And the truth is, he's only 21, 22 years old. He's about to be 22. He got drafted, at a young age because he played as I believe a true freshman and a sophomore. And then so he came to the college at 18 and then 19. So he was like 19 years old basically when he got drafted because he didn't turn 20 until the season started. So he's like 21, 22, about 22 years old, and already is on his going into his 4th year. Wow. So they're trying to, reclaim him and see if there's anything left in his young tank because he didn't really do much. Yeah.
Now, how long does he get to develop? Because I know they got rid of the quarterback from Washington Redskins, Dwayne Haskins. That was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. So
I'm trying to see how long they give Sam Darnold.
No, and that's another conversation. We as black quarterbacks and just with anything, we have a shorter leash. Yeah. When it comes to in the NFL and corporate America, black folks have a shorter leash. Yes. And unfortunately, his transgressions. He did some. As far as Dwayne Gary, he did some things that were immature, and it cost him basically his career. Sam, he didn't do anything like that. He was a stand-up kid. He just wasn't put in a winning situation. So yeah. The Jets have a new coach this year. So, but let's go on because you know what I think. Jonathan, we're going to have you come back. We're going to have you come back because I'm telling you, this is good, and I want to continue on, but I want to give some quick tips. So I know we have a few others to go on, but I want to give some quick tips to help the young men that are watching, the young women who are watching. They want to help their boo, their bae, whatever they call them. They want to help them. And let me start with this quote. Let me start with a quote because, as you know, I love a good quote. It says, "Suit up because your personality isn't the first thing people see." That goes a long way because many people think, and my beautiful butterflies out there, listen, you may be the most intelligent, articulate, caring, nurturing woman out there. But men can't see any of that 10 feet away. But what they can see is how you dressed. So suit up. Let's go to just some tips here. Just some tips. First tip is, let's start with the cuffs. Let's start with the cuffs. Yes. Cuff it out. A minor detail, but one that makes a difference. A 1/2 inch of shirt sleeve should be making an appearance at the end of your jacket. If not, either your jacket is too long or your shirt too short. Sort it out. So just a little tip. When you're wearing cuffs, your cuff, just a little bit should, it shouldn't be where halfway up your sleeve your jacket is, you got that much cuff out. So just a little tip there. I mean, a lot of these things, they take away from a good suit. And so we want to make sure if you spend $1,000 on a good suit, that you're not taking away from it, subtracting from it by making some major faux pas. And the cuff could be one of those.
Let's go to the next one. All right. Overblown accessories. Now, everyone loves a good pocket square, maybe even a tie bar. I remember you sent me a photo with someone's tie bar on it. And they push a pocket watch. But all of these together, not so much. Accentuate, but don't go over the top. Pick a maximum of 3 accessories and don't overcompensate by making them the boldest they can be. Sometimes a clean white pocket square a la Don Draper is more effective than a primped up paisley handkerchief. And so here is a great example of don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. As they used to say, keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple. Don't overblow it with accessories. Okay, let's give them one more. Trousers and tribulations. The biggest of sartorial sins, nothing ruins an ensemble like quite like a too long trouser. There's just no recovery from this one. Have your tailor hem the leg wear so it touches the top of your laces, no lower, or risk a case of ankle pulling and whispers behind your back. And I have to say, I have had, a suit on and the pants leg were not hemmed, and that hem fell out. And I was actually interviewing your father, and he looked at that pants leg and said, "That must be the new style." And I'm telling you, it was funny. I said, "No, the hem just came." So I'm telling you,
he does that. He did that for a living with the cleaners.
Yeah.
He did alterations and detailing.
Yeah. So he's gonna be able to point that out right away, and he did. And so these keys definitely will help. And again, we want to make sure that you're not taken away from that awesome suit that you have on. And listen, we're not talking about just the price tag. I mean, some of you, and I've seen it, and people have sent me photos that you're wearing suits that maybe are not expensive, but you're tailoring them, and it looks great. Don't go too far. Don't take the pants in too far. We don't want to see your kneecaps. We don't want to see your calf muscles. We don't want to see that. But again, take these tips that you've learned tonight. Take what you've heard Jonathan say. Use it for your benefit. We've had a great time talking on tonight, and Jonathan, we have to have you back for part 2 because we have a few ways to go in our NFL draft party. Yes, this is a party. This is a fashion party, and we're trying to prepare the next generation. It's all about uplift on tonight. We want to help to uplift young men on tonight. Young black men, we want to see you soar. We want to see you do great things. And we also want to see you blaze a trail for those that are coming behind you. These young men who decided last night that they were going to dress up for the draft, they have blazed a trail for those young men that desire to be exactly where they are. So I'm happy tonight that we have had a great show. One last thing, John, before we leave, one last thing. Do you have one last thing that you want to share with us before we bid everyone adieu tonight?
So when just one thing, and you're going to laugh at this, but I know for a fact you and everyone else that's listening tonight, when you do buy that suit off the rack and you have that label right here on the cuff that says Van Heusen or whatever it is, I don't care what that suit is, take it off. Please. That
Bruh.
is one thing I cannot stand. Whether I don't care if I'm in a funeral, I'm looking at it. I'm like, why does he have the tag on that? No,
Yeah.
that does not go there. So if your husband or your boyfriend or your son leaves out the house with that new suit and it still has that tag on there, no, take that off. Get the little scissors, cut from the thread from the inside, pull that thing out. That is a big no. Can't do that.
Awesome. I'm telling you, that is one for the record. You just helped a lot of people. They're gonna go in that closet right now and start cutting, because they have been wearing them just like that. I know. We're happy that you have that new Tom Ford suit. But we don't need to know that it's Tom Ford by the label on the sleeve. Awesome. You've helped a lot of people on tonight. We're so excited. Listen, we're just so glad that you all took the time out to join us tonight. I'm so thankful for my guests. Who's coming back, right? Who's coming back?
Oh yes, I'm definitely coming back.
I was waiting. You hear it. You heard him. You heard him. He's going to come back and join us. We got to have the part 2 of this conversation, because again, we want to make certain that our young black men, listen, don't wait till you have to go to court to get a suit. You want to have the suit wearing it to other places. You don't want to have the suit and have to have one to go to court. You want to have it before and be able to enjoy, and maybe, just maybe, you won't ever have to go to court wearing that suit. You can go to court wearing the robe, because we're going to put you on the right path. This what HeSpoke Fashion is all about. We thank all of you for joining us on tonight. Listen, what fashion choices are you going to make this weekend for next week? We have another week coming up. We're getting closer and closer to going back, returning to the office, returning to some sense of normalcy. I don't know about you. I've seen it in other states where people are feeling a little bit freer. Some have gotten vaccinated and they're feeling a little bit more freer. But I'm going to tell you, be careful. Still mask up when you need to. Listen to the CDC restrictions and the things that they've lifted. But I want to tell you to stay safe, make great fashion choices, and join us again next week. Hope to see you soon. Have a good night.